And there's John and Sid. Sid, my man, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh man, I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
I went for my walk this morning and got up this morning and it was a brisk 99 degrees at 4:30 in the morning. I threw that
Yay,
sweat.
summer.
I got that sweatshirt on, you know. Ooh yeah. Had to forego the gloves though.
But it's dry. It's dry where you are, right?
Dry
It's like a
heat.
dry heat. Yeah. We
Yeah.
get that muggy shit, and it just
Yeah.
it's terrible. It's like
But when
you could just-
everybody wants to remind me that it's a dry heat, I remind them that so is a pizza oven. All right. So we've got some great people here today. We got Lee and James and Zhao and Chris and Daniel and Mike. Hey guys, how are you? We have all wait a minute.
All good, Don.
Lee is the only lady here that rarely happens. Rarely happens.
Oh.
Oh, Sophie just came in.
Sophie just came. Oh, there we go.
It's not a Friday without Sophie.
Thank you, Sophie. I was the only one.
All right. Well, we had a blast looking at pictures last week, and you know, we sometimes talk about marketing on here, and sometimes we talk about business on here, but we had a blast looking at pictures. And this week I kind of got interested in doing portraits again. I don't know what's wrong with me. Something's obviously amiss. Maybe it's too much sushi. But anyway, I'm really excited about doing portraits again. And I'm going to. I'm changing up my kit for my motorcycle ride. I'm hoping I get some people in as I go driving around the world. So or the west part of the United States, which for me is the world. But anyway, and Sid, I know you are a portraitist. So
I am. I love
right
people.
up your alley.
Yes. Yes.
So I said, hey, let's just do this show and everybody bringing one or two portraits that they've done that they really like. But I'd like you to tell me why you like them. Let's discuss the machinations, and Sid and I will go last because we're the hosts and we're courteous.
Yes.
We are so courteous. You got that shirt that I sent you? It says courteous on the front.
Courteous.
Courteous, yes. We got a whole bunch of people. We got Jay Chatskill is here, Alex, Sophie. Let's start with, because Sophie's not the last one here, but in Virginia, there we go. We've got our women back. Yes. Yes.
There she is.
And Stephanie, there we go. We're good. We're doing good. So I think we'll start with Lee. You want to go first? Here. I'm going to let.
Oh, she's muted. You're muted.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Should I send you the image?
No, what you do is you just simply share it, right? Share it, put it up on your screen. Just fill the screen with your image and share that with the share at the bottom.
Okay, so let me just get the image then.
Okay, while you're doing that, we'll bump over to James. James,
sounds good.
What's that?
Sounds good.
Okay. James, you got a portrait to share?
You know, I didn't actually. I'll share something with you, but this is not so much a portrait as an example of a tragic mistake.
Oh, that's what my mom used to say about me.
Just for fun. Let me. Okay. Let's see if I can bring this.
Yes.
Come on.
All
right. So, lovely shot despite the heat and the sweat and all of that. The tragic mistake is he's holding the thing backwards. That little silver thing is supposed to be pointed at the guy in the car.
Oh.
And I didn't notice it then. And luckily, we shot another scenario at another location with another person who held it the right way, so it didn't kill me, but that was That was one of the very first shoots. We did it at 6:30 in the morning, and so the rep from the company decided that was way too early to get up. So we all have fun.
Well,
And surely the rep would have caught it, but nobody
they
else.
always want really great photographs, and they never want to pay a lot of money for them, but they certainly don't want to go out of their way to help either.
That's right. And they don't want to get up early.
I was reading Jake Stengel was shooting for an outdoors magazine. They were shooting, up in the, I want to say the Tetons or somewhere. They, had 2 models or 4 models, 2 guys, 2 gals. They had the tents and everything. But the art director didn't want to get up until 9. Hey, at 9, we're packing away at 9. You want to be up before the sun comes up to get that. So Jake just did it himself. He just said, to hell with it. I'm not going to wait until 9 o'clock and have to struggle with all this stuff. So he just did it himself. So, all right. How about Zhao?
Sorry, Don, trying to find Zoom. Or try to find the unmute button. So let me share. Just so you're looking for portraits today, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what I can share. So small session I did with Vodafone Portugal at the office.
Mm-hmm.
That is a crazy color background.
Well, the background was added in post, so
Okay.
it was not shot on location. Yeah, I shot it against a white background, and then I added this background but it's cool. Yeah, and it's part of the brand. So this was done for an internal campaign, and this was obviously authorized by them.
Cool.
Yeah,
we did.
From the
We did 150 headshots for PeopleSoft for their HR, for their internal hiring stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't
Cool.
shoot them. We didn't shoot them to green screen them in. We had a specific background that they wanted us to shoot them. But today, I think if I was doing this kind of headshot right now, I think I'd do it with the idea that I'm gonna cut it out and put it over something. Just do it as a natural way of doing it.
Same series. I think I have 1 or 2 with yeah. This is without the other background.
Sure.
It's all from the same series.
What did you use to cut them out? How did you get them cut out well?
Well, Photoshop, obviously.
Did you try using BlendIf?
No.
Have you seen that?
I've tried. Yes, I've seen the tutorials you've recommended.
Uh-huh.
I've checked it on Flern as well, but somehow I've always failed miserably trying to use the BlendIf. Not sure why.
Well, this one should work pretty well because it's so uniform. It's tough if you're using when you got some other crap going on, but when you've got a gray that uniform, it should work pretty well. Yeah, very good.
Thank you
very
very
good,
much, sir.
Okay, Don, I'm ready if you want to.
Go ahead. You can do it.
That's not it.
Yep. I made it so everybody can share their screen. Did you share it?
Unmute. I guess I cannot do it. Oh.
Are you on a Mac, Lee?
Okay, no,
Okay.
I'm on my phone.
Oh, on your phone? I don't think you can do it on a phone.
Okay, then let me go on my Mac.
Yeah, you can't share.
Then I can do it on my Mac. So continue and I go.
Okay. All right.
I'm done.
I'm ready.
Who's ready?
Virginia's ready.
Virginia Smith, go for it. Come back to Daniel on this too. And Jay.
Ooh.
So that's one of my favorite portraits because the skin came out luminous and I got what I wanted with the angle with the headpiece. So
So that's not a hat, right? That's a rose.
I made that. So it's like Hobby Lobby or Joanne Fabrics has these big giant silk flowers and I make headpieces out of them. I'm working on a series of portraits with these headpieces.
Wait a minute.
That is-
This isn't Photoshop. This is actually she's wearing this thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's wearing it.
I thought it was
instantly-
like forced perspective at first.
I
Nope.
know. I'm like, I instantly want one of these big ass roses. I don't know what I will do with it, but I want that.
Yeah, I have a lot of different kinds of flowers. And when I meet someone that goes with the flower, and this was a model we were working with at Promoting Passion, so I asked if I could have some time with her alone. And it took me longer to create the headpiece, to make it so it stays on the head. I just put her in a doorway
Mhm.
and then made everything in the back look black.
Yeah, I love doorways.
And then
yes. Doorways and windows. Yeah.
I just used a sharper. Can't think of how the aperture is smaller than it would normally, because I tend to shoot wide, so I had to stop it down so I could get sharpness in the flower and in her face, and focused on her eye.
That's nice, Virginia. That's very clever. I like it.
Yeah, that's great.
And then I have another one here. Does that show up?
Yep.
That one is a project for homeless. So this is a homeless, she was pregnant. She's not homeless now, but she was at the time. And so it was, some of the work I do is to help people feel good about themselves, and photography can be pretty powerful when they see themselves, the possibilities of who they are in a better situation. Like, so to them, it's like, this is like something in a magazine and it's me. So it's pretty special.
That's cool.
That's one of my favorite kind of portraits.
That's cool. I like what Mike said. He loves that she's smiling instead of so often when we see.
Exactly. Yeah,
You know?
that's the whole point. Like, once I went on a photo walk and they were photographing the homeless. That's not good.
Yeah, Lee, you gotta turn your mic off. You got a feedback loop.
So, and everybody was photographing like this one drug addict who had been puking, and it's like, I don't want to take pictures like that. So I started going up to homeless people, asking them if they needed anything, and then just asked if I could take their picture. And then I'd always take their phone and take a picture with the phone too. So, because I could take a really good phone picture. And then they see themselves, and when you see their response to like, that's me, it's very exciting. It makes you want to do a lot more of it because the response is so good. And that's why for me, portraits is everything. I love portraits. It's everything to me.
I sometimes bristle a little bit when I see these photojournalistic awards and things, and they give them to people who photograph homeless people, and they go in and they photograph, down and out people, and then work really hard to make the photographs make them look like they're more down and out than they really are.
Yeah, it's like all high contrast.
And to me, that's exploitation. And what you're doing is
Giving
inspiring.
people, yeah, because they couldn't change. We were homeless for 6 months, but we had family to live with when my husband had an accident. And if you give people their dignity, they may not be homeless forever. And
Right.
so they want to remember, if they see themselves in a better light, then that is lifting. And they have it on their phone to keep looking at themselves, and like, I can't believe that's me.
Oh, it's really powerful. It's really cool that you do that.
Yeah, and a lot of it. Then at the Palm Springs Photo Festival, there was a really famous photographer who takes pictures of the homeless and street people that they're hideous. He clowns them up, and he was bragging about he makes them worse than they are, and how funny he thinks they are, and how pathetic they are. And I thought, I never want to be like that. That
No,
was the most horrible man I'd ever listened to. Several of us left because couldn't even hear him.
He's obviously banking on the fact that he knows his future really well. And I would say, I wouldn't bet on it, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, there for the grace of God go a lot of people. Sorry. I mean, I've seen really good people end up in really bad situations.
Yeah.
My wife and I we were really worried when my partner stole all the money from me in the ad agency. Is really touch and go for a while. And, you know, you realize you can go from Mr. Ad Agency guy, you know, in the Brooks Brothers suit and all that bullshit, and all of a sudden, you know, be thinking if you can live in your Sonata. So that stuff's real. That's too bad that he felt that way. Thank you, Virginia. Really lovely. Lovely.
Has anybody else here done anything with help portrait? It was something I was involved in for 5 or 6 years. And basically they go to like, our thing was we went to Miami to the women's shelter, and we did professional portraits for them. And we brought in a makeup artist and all that. And the idea was that this would help them, you know, with their resumes and trying to get a job and stuff like that. And it was a really cool thing. I mean, they were super appreciative. And, you know, in the last couple of years, we got sponsors to bring in cases of water and fruit juice and stuff like that. And it was pretty neat. And I don't know if it's still going on or not. Around here, it's fizzled out. The shelter we were working with had closed down or merged in with.
I don't think they've done it here in Phoenix for the last, I want to say 2 to 3 years.
Do it around Christmas time, you know, first week of December.
Yeah.
But it
It's
was,
still going on. Last year it happened. I ran a printer one year, but they haven't had any close nearby. But I noticed the locations will change just depending on who's sponsored them.
Yeah.
but it was nice. You felt good about it, you know, go in and help somebody get back on their feet.
Yep. All right, Lee, you want to try it again?
Yeah, let's try again. Let's see if it's true. Stop. No, it's not broadcasting, isn't it?
What's that?
No,
It's not showing.
No.
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 All right.
Not yet.
Continue and then let's try.
Okay.
Who's
You
that?
went down to the green share button? Lee?
Yeah, it is share screen, but it's not website whiteboard. It's not showing. Okay, let me try something else. Continue and I come back.
Okay. All right. Daniel,
Yes, sir.
how about you, sir?
Okay, I've got a couple lined up. Okay, is that showing up?
That is showing up nicely.
So yeah, I'm much more comfortable tabletop and still life, and portraiture is always a stretch for me because I'm what you'd call, I guess, a severe situational introvert.
Mm.
So this was one I did for class.
You're so good at it. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
I love what this young lady is giving back to you, and you caught it at a very real moment. That is such a look. It's almost Mona Lisa in a way. She is this your daughter?
That's my wife's niece.
Nice niece. She's definitely relating to you in the camera, and she's either emoting something or really, really wants to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, it's a bit enigmatic, that expression.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Were they all like that, or did this one just sort of jump out?
That one jumped out. Yeah, she was kind of all over the place, and my direction wasn't the best, but she kind of got into the mood and just gave me that. And that was like 2 years ago, and then this one was last month.
Also a nice smile. Very good.
And then lastly was this portrait of a musician.
Yeah, I remember this shot.
Yeah.
This was definitely one of the best shots of that class.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Great shot. And once again, you have captured that moment. Instead of like just a picture of somebody, you've really kind of captured a moment. His shoulders being up like that, grabbing his hand, grabbing the shoulder, featuring both hands. And I don't know if you did this on purpose or if it was, in your subconscious, but you're featuring his hands by putting him in a long sleeve black shirt. His hands are his instrument. Well, half of his instrument anyway.
Right.
Because the conga drum doesn't make any noise unless you pound on it with your hands.
Right.
You've really basically given us that motif right here.
Okay. So yeah, it's something I need to work more on and really push myself and stretch.
I think it's great. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Super job. Really beautiful. Doesn't make any money either. Yes, you're right. That's what I was going to, first I said, didn't make any money. And then I said, no, music. That's music. That's what it was. All right.
I'm ready, Don.
You ready? Okay, go. Lauren, what's up? Did we lose him? Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Here I am. This was done about a year ago. A group of us got together and decided we were going to just walk around our kind of shopping district,
Okay.
just off in downtown Kansas City. And we walked around a corner, and this guy was sitting in his guitar case, just playing songs. And it's not really a true portrait, but I don't shoot portraits, so this was the closest thing I had, and I thought it was really a great shot.
Okay. I like the
People were dropping
lines.
20s and 10s in his cases. We were standing there.
That's a good solution to people taking his money, sitting on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, because people do that. I like to
I
sit
know
on
they
it.
do.
I wonder if you sat and asked him if somebody had ever run up and grabbed his guitar case and took off with it, because that could be him going, that ain't happening again.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I like the repeating patterns of the sidewalk there behind him. Everything is so uniform, and then he is so,
Disheveled.
well, he's not straight and he's more serpentine,
Right.
flowing through the picture, where everything else in the picture, you got verticals, you got horizontals, you got bricks, you got all this structure around it, and then around him, and then he kind of floats there pretty well. Now, was this film or digital?
No, this is digital.
All right. Cool.
That was a fun time. There was about 20 of us all walking around with cameras. We were getting some strange looks.
Oh yeah. Well, last weekend I was in Williams, Arizona, taking pictures of it's a little old town. I was taking pictures of the little old houses, and I got to meet the neighborhood patrol. They wanted to know what the hell I was doing. And I showed them. I said, yeah, I love this. And they were like, and then we started talking about cameras. So I was stuck there for about 10 minutes talking to the neighborhood patrol about cameras. So. All right. Very nice. Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lee, you want to try it again? Go to that green thing down there and share.
I'm on my way. I got it.
Okay.
There you go. I have something going.
Very nice.
Okay, let me show.
Was this film?
No, this is digital. I have an iPhone.
Is your telephone still on? Because you're getting feedback.
Yeah, let me use. Sí, Derek is laughing at me right now. This is crazy. I'm doing silly stuff.
Oh my.
Okay. All right. I'm in.
This is a whole audio visual experience she's giving us.
Hello. This is
That was like right out of the 60s, right
Is
there.
there? Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Is that three-dimensional audio?
Okay.
Okay, tell us about this shot.
I'm in. Am I in?
Yep.
Yes, I am in. Okay, so actually this is my mother. But let me tell you why this photo is so remarkable. Because photographing my mother is very difficult. She is a diva. She dances tango. She does shows. So every time that she sees a camera, she poses like Lola, what is it called? The Italian Lola Brigida. I mean, she sees camera and she goes in posing mode. So every time that you want to capture her normal, like, okay, mom, you're my mom. I don't need you pose. Is an ordeal. So and it's impossible for her to be normal, like my mom. So we were visiting Mexico and she was there. She didn't see me. I was far enough from her for her to be distracted. I think she was talking to Derek and I was on a side and I said, there you go. That's the image I wanted. And boom, took it. So otherwise my mom goes like this and like this. And
So
she just need the boa,
You had to stalk your mom to get a picture?
What's that?
You had to stalk your mom to get a picture?
I need to stalk my mom to get a picture. Otherwise, she poses and dramatic poses. I mean, tango style, like, okay, mom. Normally I had to say, Mom, no, don't do that. But I like her. She's a beautiful lady. She's remarkable.
Yeah.
She has a lot of strength and she's fun. She's funny. She's the most brilliant woman I ever known.
Yeah, it's a lovely portrait of anyone, but to have a portrait like that of your mom, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I always wanted to do a portrait of my mom there, and as I have portraits of other people and normally kids, I photograph kids, but I always wanted my mom. And this is actually quite recent, probably a year or 2 years ago. She's
very cool.
She looks great. She's really fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you have a portrait of you and her together?
No, we have because she's difficult. Because normally if you sit next to her, she covers your face. Yeah. She's the one that allows you're here with me. Let me show you, and she covers.
I think you should.
It's selfies, but no portraits.
I think you
Not
should
yet,
make that your next sort of like assignment for yourself is get a nice portrait of you and your mom together.
you know.
Yeah.
That'll,
That's a
That'll be-
challenge. Yes.
that's,
And that would be very lovely to do, actually.
yeah, that'd be priceless.
That would be priceless. This is priceless. My opinion is one of my priceless images.
Thank you
And,
for sharing.
Yeah.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
Mom's rule.
Mom's real, that's for
Mom's
sure.
rule.
How about Sophie? Sophie, you got something for us?
Yes,
Okay.
I have.
Did you get your hair cut again?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you were going to grow it out.
no, not yet.
Okay,
Not
I'm
ready.
going to have to go get mine done again. Damn.
But I've thought about it, so maybe we're getting there. You know,
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking because I was like, hey, I could, if I had hair, I could do so many cool photos.
You know what you could do, Sophie? It just dawned on me. What if you grew it out long on the sides, just like that?
No.
No? You could get one of those little horns, you know. I don't know. It may not work.
No. No.
Maybe it's not your brand. I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to do it first, Don, to show her.
Yeah.
Well, I got to go to the garage and get my horn. So, all right, Sophie, what you got?
I've got this photo, which is me trying to steal Sid Caesar style.
I have no style. What are you talking about?
Sorry. In one of your photos of your setup, I saw the setup and I went, I want that.
Oh.
So that's what I mean by that. It's I'm really happy with this photo because I've known, so his name is Flavien, and I've known Flavien for quite a few years now, and this is the first time we could shoot where he could be totally himself and
Cool.
not be stuck because of the camera or because we were shooting for his future website for headshots and stuff and for his social media. So but I wanted to get that natural look. I think he looks what he's really like, which is a real genuine person.
Yeah, it comes across that way.
Yeah.
What does he do? You said
He's-
social media. What does he do?
He's both an athlete and he trains people in it's called longe côte. It's a discipline where people walk in water, and it can sound very just like simple, but it's like so physical. And so he trains athletes for that. And then he's a finance expert of some sort. And he's very good at guiding people and coaching people to get to where they need to get and so on.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I like on the left, his left eyebrow, or left to my side, the camera left. He's got a little bit of that Spock thing going on, where he's got a little
Yes.
bit of the
Yeah.
little eyebrow going on. There's a little mischievousness going on. How was he really relaxed during the shoot? Like, it looks like he was fairly relaxed here.
It's because I've done a few shots with him before for my projects, not for him, but it was hard to, we get so filled up with what we think we should do during a photo shoot,
Yeah.
and we're not models, so it usually looks horrible. Try to look relaxed, and that's the best way to look super stiff. And so, but this time we could really, I got him to talk about his projects and where he's going with his projects and so on. And so when he connects to his passion, then that's when we could really, so that was really, really good. Yeah.
Good.
I was working with a photographer in LA way back when I had black hair and a big black beard, but and this he was kind of new, and he had the model there, and she's in, like, I want to say 6 or 7 inch heels. I mean, spectacularly high heels. He says, okay, now I want you up on one foot, now bring the other foot up like this, Now lean way out and put your hand way up. That's what we're reaching way over. Bring your chin up, bring your chin up. Now look natural. Yeah. That's how you, that's looking natural if you've just been hit by a bus.
Yeah.
So beautiful, Sophie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who's next? Who is next?
I nominate Carmen.
Carmen. You've been nominated by Mike.
I'm in trouble. No, I was looking for a particular photograph to share, and I just found it. So I'm glad.
Okay,
I
good.
just
If you
I
need a
just-
minute, we can go
I
to
just
someone else. but-
saw that picture of you, Carmen, with your hair all like out and puffy,
Yeah.
and it was gorgeous. It was so gorgeous.
Thank you. That was a selfie that I did, but that was inspired by Sophie. No surprise.
Oh.
She I usually put stuff in my hair to keep it from being like super big, and she said, no, I want you to. I went to her place and she photographed me with like, don't put any product in your hair, just blow dry it,
Yeah.
just like fluff it up. And so I have these gorgeous photographs, but then I think this was at another time I came back because I wanted to send one to my son, so I did the selfie. Thank you. So that was but it was
I
Sophie because I need personality to grow into that hair.
I thought that was an old shot when you were Aretha's backup singer.
That's it.
Right.
You should have seen me. You know, it was like-
Absolutely.
No, that was in January. That's quite recent.
Wonderful.
That was awesome.
Great
I love like volumed hair, like just because I never see enough of it in my area. And so like when my wife and we go out places and I'll see somebody with like this big puffy afro and everything. Like I almost want to just like walk towards it and start like touching it. And Sarah's just like, what are you doing, lunatic?
Bam,
Like,
bam.
yeah,
Can
don't
can
go
I
near people,
swipe?
freak. Like stop trying to touch people. And I'm like, no. It's just like, it's beautiful. So beautiful. That was an awesome shot.
Thank you. Okay, so let's see if I can do it. It's share the screen. First, let me make sure that I have
Share the
right
window.
picture up.
The whatever your images fits in a window, if it's in a browser
Okay,
or whatever, just
so
share
then-
that
yeah,
window.
Yeah, so this is I have actually two, but let's see if I can find. Oops, there we go. This is my my lady
Oh
friend,
my goodness!
Yeah.
and that was today.
You shot this
So
today?
That was
This
today,
lady is
yeah.
going to become so famous. Like, it's look at that
But you know
profile.
what? Don, I remember you saying how, shitty. If you have the contact sheet and then
Yeah,
like this
uh-huh.
one image like pops out,
Uh-huh.
that was this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I shot and I'm like,
Oh.
and Sophie knows I'm horrible at picking photographs, but this one just went boom. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that's
Standout portrait.
that's
Look at her
really,
clavicles. Look how
really
they just
nice.
like, it's amazing.
Carmen, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful
That's
shot.
the album cover right there. The album cover.
She's slowly telling me more and more about her life, which is kind of cool,
Are you recording?
But
it?
Sophie, I really need you, Sophie, because her French is like, oof. It's like, could you please repeat that? Could you say that slowly, please?
Just
You know,
record her.
Record it.
Yeah.
I know, but today she just showed up 15 minutes before I had another appointment at 5, and she shows up at 4:45. She just shows up, and I drop everything, get my camera, take my lights out, and this was like, so I wasn't ready to just start the recording thing. I didn't have the time today, but
Lovely.
yeah, I do try. So
Stunning
this is in
photograph.
my alley with a light, one
Yeah,
light.
Stop making us feel bad.
What are you talking about?
Shooting in an alley, getting shots like this in an alley.
But it's
Yeah.
true. But it's
Nice
true.
alley.
But you've seen it. You've seen dozens of photographs that I've taken in that little side street that I have next to mine.
As if there's a bad alley in Antibes, France.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can't get. Let me see this other one. Hopefully that'll
Sophie,
open
before
up.
you go, is this like 100mm 85 or what are you doing?
With her?
Yeah.
That might have been. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Oh no, I don't have it up. I want to say it was like 45 or 35. I had my 24-105, and I was kind of going in really, and she was close. So I would say 45 or 35.
On a full frame lens?
Yeah. I can look it up. I can
Okay.
look it up.
The shoulder just looks a little compressed to me. That's the only reason I was asking.
So maybe I was at
Like an
105 far
85.
away. Who knows?
Yeah, cool.
But this
Great.
picture talks. Speaking of homeless people, I'll come back. This is a homeless gentleman by choice. He doesn't have to be that way.
Didn't change yet.
This was, sorry.
Picture didn't change.
Oh, do you have a young man in front of you?
No.
Oh, okay. So maybe I have to unshare and share again.
Probably, if it's
Okay,
in a different window.
It isn't. Yeah, it is in a different window.
Yeah, you got to share
Okay.
the other window.
Okay. Oh, screwballs. So what do I do? Stop the sharing and then start again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where is he? Where is he? Let me just find him first. Make sure I have him. It's coming. It's coming. Okay, I'm getting the concept now. Share. There. Do you see a young man now?
Yes.
Okay. This is a homeless person, but he does it by choice. He is my son. And I did this photograph. This is about, going on 11 years now. And it was winter and it was my studio in the US. And he walked in, and I'm like, oh, hugged him.
Sure.
And then threw him in front of my camera before he disappeared. So that's he's got his winter garb, different gloves, his hat. He's got long hair, but he was cool. He was cool with it. He can be pretty laid back. But now he's in Kauai, but living the same way. But this is his choice.
Yeah.
It's a very nice guy.
Great. Great portrait.
Nice guy.
Great
Yeah.
portrait. This was in the U.S. Where were you in the U.S.?
This is in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
That's where my studio was. That's where I came from before I came to France.
You'll notice the
I'm gonna tell
difference.
60. Sorry?
You'll notice the difference
Yeah.
between Phoenixville and Paris. They both start with P, but
Yeah. No, but I'm not in Paris. I'm in Antibes. I'm in the south
You're
of France.
right.
Paris
Okay.
is like 6 hours away.
That's true. France. Anyway.
It's France. I know. You all think it's the same thing, but it's not.
I'm-
Paris is like, Paris might as well be LA as far as I'm concerned. It's like,
Antibes is like, it's kind of like Newark, but better.
Upper end Newark.
Lovely.
So-
Really
so-
lovely.
so that's it. And the woman, I shot her with a 60 millimeter.
60. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay,
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, I have to go. These are beautiful, and I wish I could stay, but I have to go.
All right. Well, it's being recorded.
Virginia.
You can always jump on and find us at about the 45-minute stage, Virginia.
Okay. Great work, guys.
Thank you, Virginia, for coming along.
Okay. Bye.
Alex, what you got? Chris, you got one for us too?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
All right. And then we got Stephanie and Jay, I think. And if there's anyone else, please yell at me. Alex has said, oh,
Mike-
wow.
Mike as well.
Is that meat or cheese?
Both, actually.
Okay.
This is Hamon. This is Emilio. He's he has the central stall in the Ruzafa market, which is my local market. And he's there every day. If you go along at sort of 10 a.m., buy him a beer, he'll basically ply you with free wine, cheese, ham on until you don't need any lunch. It's amazing. So
Wow.
he's got a special bottle of wine for me for Monday to photograph as well. So
Did you augment this or is this natural light? He's looking out into the courtyard.
no, I've got a just a flash and an umbrella.
Ah, okay. Very, very nice.
So, but it's totally his personality. He knows everybody. He's a jazz aficionado. He's like, I mean, he had my son helping him work behind the counter last week, like my 3-year-old, like doing all the till and everything.
Yeah.
Has he seen this?
Oh yeah, I printed a copy of it. He shows
Oh,
it
good,
to everybody.
good. Yeah, that's gorgeous. If he had a website, man, that should be right up on there.
Yeah, he's old school. He doesn't need a website.
Oh,
It's like
that's
everybody knows him.
fantastic.
What is
It's a gorgeous shot.
what lens were you using with this?
Pretty sure that was a 50, I think.
Okay.
I shot a lot of these with a 35. But I don't think this doesn't look.
You
like
were
the
right.
35
You were
to me.
right up there, close and personal.
Yeah, because the aisles aren't very. They're not very big, to be honest. I wouldn't have been able to use a longer one than that. So.
Well, that's beautiful.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
And then I have one more as well. So this is kind of the rest of my life. So.
Oh, your
to quote
husband's.
Princess
is that
Diana,
the
there's 3 of
full-size
us in
base?
this marriage.
That's a full size
That
base.
wall and his shirt and the color of that instrument. That's
Yeah, no, that's not a full size one. That's a little Italian one.
Okay, because I was going to
It's,
say your husband's
probably
what,
a 3.
7'9" or something.
No, almost nobody plays a full size double bass because they're just too big. This is like probably a 3/4 or 4/5 or something.
Okay.
So, so you can get right up high for the solo stuff. But I was kind of going for that kind of Cuban
He
look.
framed his face around the dark little window there too. I think that's just grand. Really cool. And his body language, I'm offsetting the weight of the bass. Love it. Did you is he actually walking or did you put him in position there?
Oh yeah, he's walking. I had him walk like several times.
Okay. So you moved him through.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, he used to do a theatre show where he had to kind of dance around playing the bass, so he's pretty good at it, to be honest. Doesn't faze him. But it's
Has
just
he
like
ever-
all the funny comments you get when you see somebody walking around with a bass. It's just,
Has
don't
he
you wish
ever
you played the
performed
flute?
that bass piece, that famous, hilarious bass piece?
Oh, which one? What, Failing?
The one where they go real fast? Yeah, Failure.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's got a record. He plays that.
See, and I've played it as well. I just failed way earlier. Like holding it up. That was the part. Yeah, beautiful. That's just a wonderful, warm, clean portrait. That's great.
Thanks.
And lens?
Probably 50 again. I really should buy a better quality 50mm lens because it's all I use, it seems.
I used to never use my 50, and now it's my lens now. I just absolutely, that and the 35. Those are my lenses. This is a stunning picture. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We got Jay's been hanging on for a while. Then we'll go grab Steph. Jay, you got something for us?
Yeah. This was I was in Puerto Rico in February, and I said, what should I, give me some advice. So you said, well, go around and take as many pictures of people as you can. So I did, so this is a street with a lot of shops on it. And this is a guy who works, it's not his shop, but he works in a shop that sells handbags and that kind of stuff. And he just has such a great beard and the glasses and the hat. So I just like it. But I know it could be better, but I don't quite know what to do with it.
It's a nice portrait, Jay. He's really bringing it forward here. I like it.
Thank you.
Did a nice job with it. What lens are you using?
I think I was just using a 35mm lens on the Fuji for the whole day. I sort of gave myself an assignment. I'll just use this and see what I can get. I cajole people with the living.
I want those glasses.
I'll ask them for it. This was another one from that series.
Nice.
This wasn't her show, but I wanted to just get something that shows that she was proud of all the stuff that she had, because this is one of the better Puerto Rican crafts places, Caribbean. So I really enjoyed her. She was good.
Really nicely done, sir.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
And then these are my kids. So this is at a park called Parque La Paloma, which is Paloma's pigeons. And somebody did this park, and it just sort of exists now. And the pigeons live in these little pigeon cubes, and they come out, and people have little breadcrumbs. And these two girls are brought by their father, and I said, "Can I take a picture of them?" He said, I had the camera and everything. He said, "I'm a photographer." He said, "Oh yeah, okay, you can do it." So I took advantage of it. The kids were great. I really enjoyed them, and they didn't need any encouragement.
Great. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jay.
But
Chris, you want to go? Jay, you have to stop showing your screen, sir.
How do I do it?
Just go down to where it's sharing and say stop sharing.
Stop sharing it.
I don't know. I'll just get out. Go exit. Come back in.
Go back to the Zoom window. Yeah.
There
stop.
you
All right. Yeah, I can do it from my end too. Chris, you got something to share with us? Uh-oh. Is Chris here? Did he leave? Oh, he's left. I guess not. I think we've got one person left, Stephanie, right?
Yeah, I got
Stephanie
one.
and Sid. Steph,
And
let's see what
Mike.
you got.
And Mike.
I have this one.
All right.
So I think portraits are the thing that I struggle with the most. It's so hard for me to get people to relax and feel natural. And so in all the environmental stuff I do, I try, to get them to look, and it's just so hard for me. But this one, we were just out, he was working. It was natural in what he was doing. And I just kind of, I don't know if it counts as a portrait, but
Yeah, picture of a person. Absolutely. Certainly, it's not a food shop.
Yeah, I love the reflection. And
All
the,
natural light.
yeah, natural light. Just the sunlight was coming right in that window, hitting him, and so it reflected. That was at the state capitol building.
Beautiful. Nicely done.
I have one more, and again, I don't know if this is
Yeah.
portrait or not either. But
There it is.
and my favorite thing is to be in those industrial things like that, where he's got the coal dust and grease, and it just feels so real. I love it. And
Imagine
that
coming
one,
home.
what?
Can you imagine coming home from work just covered in that stuff every day? Like,
Yeah. And this one I did light. I had just a speed light with me, and I was holding it in my hand, and I was pointing it at the wall behind me. So I was just trying to bounce it off of whatever I had off to the side, because it was pitch dark in there.
All right. Nicely done.
yeah.
Really nicely done.
So
What lens? Do you remember what lens you used for it?
both of these are about at 60. I was using my 24 to 105, but they both are about 60.
Cool.
Maybe this one was 50, but right around there.
I love your leading lines and the way you framed this guy with these poles. Very, very cool.
Yeah, you've got them like right in that A frame where
Yeah.
those two pipes just come down on either side.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Love it.
All
Yeah.
right.
And our, I think that Mike, you want one? You have one?
Yeah, I got a couple here I can do real quick. Sure. I'll just share the whole screen real quick. There we go. This is you see Jay here?
Look at that beard.
That's my tattoo artist. A good friend too, but this is about a week after I started Project 52, and the first time I rented a camera, I rented an EOS R and then the 24-70 lens, and he went out to have a smoke, and I just followed him out there, and I don't know what the hell he was thinking or what, just shot it, and it kind of worked out because I like that smirk. It looks like he's thinking of something that we don't know what the hell it is. So kind of fun, but that's my favorite just because probably the first portrait I really liked that I've done.
I think the predominantly warm tones of his face and beard against all those blues is really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this image was a lot of firsts. The first one I also, I what do you call that? Color graded. And I did purposely grade it towards the cold side because it was kind of a cold day out, and the light was a little flat, so this made it a little more contrast. He added a little contrast and added that cold to it, and then yeah, like you said, with his skin tone, it really worked. This is one of the few, I actually have this in black and white, but this is one of the few images I have that I have both, and I like the color better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think
Yeah, I think the color is spectacular.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really beautiful.
And then this is my son, and part of the reason why I like this one so much is, well, it came out exactly how I wanted it to, but this is not my style really. I mean, I tend to go dark and very contrasty, and I'm realizing this about myself. I like the darker images. I like black backgrounds, and I went high key on this one, and it turned out really nice, and it surprised me how much I liked the high key look. So that one's that.
See,
I don't
when
remember
look
if it's
at it, I don't necessarily see the high key. I just think it's appropriate.
the white, whatever. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sorry, I thought all white was high key.
No, I mean, what I'm saying is I think this is an appropriate shot for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would
Well,
agree.
it's definitely
Really.
high key. Definitely high key, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
So-
I'm saying is when I first look at the picture, I don't see it as a quote high key shot. I see it as appropriate.
Oh yeah. No, I would agree with that. Yeah, it's odd how much I did my other son in the same style, and it's just odd how much I actually liked it because it's so different than what I normally do. And the funny thing is, I actually did start with the black background, and I just wasn't feeling it, so I switched to the white, and turned out that it worked. And then this one's from yesterday or 2 days ago, and yeah, learning wet plate. So I mean, got to share one of those in there. But this one turned out pretty decent actually. I posted in the group on this one and some of the mistakes I made on the first, and it was kind of funny because they were such stupid mistakes that I knew I shouldn't do, but I did them anyhow. So that's a 360 Heliar 4.5.
Yep.
So
Love it.
thank you.
Love it. There's something about the old photography that just.
Yeah, I've actually got 3 models on Saturday if it doesn't rain, and I know this is that trade for pictures, Don, that I was telling you about.
Uh-huh.
You said you'd be surprised if they showed up, and I'm right there with you. I was kind of like, well, yeah, I'll be surprised too. But both of them, because one's a mother and a daughter, and then the other one's both of them have been messaging me constantly. Oh, looking forward to it. Want to make sure we got the time right. Blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, me too. You know. So, and I had lunch with one of my old biker buddies, and so we're gonna get some stuff set up for shooting him and some other bikers. And yeah, I got a lot of portraits on the way. So
Awesome.
gonna be fun.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Who's, I guess that puts you up, Sid.
Is that me? All right, let me see here. Share screen. Boom. Let me know if this comes up because my connection's being a little spotty.
Yes, we have a lovely.
Okay.
lady.
Yeah, so she came to one of my open studios. We had a building open studio. I'd never met her before, and I saw her walking down the hallway. And she's just absolutely beautiful. So I waited until she was coming back, and I had a business card, and I was just like, I'm trying not to be a total creeper here, but take my card, take a look at my website. You know, if you'd ever be interested in just coming to the studio and hanging out for an afternoon and just let me, you know, no idea what I was going to do. Just come to the studio and let me get some shots. And so she took a look at the website, and she was just like, oh my God, you're totally legit. Yes, let's get together. And so this was, I mean, she photographs so well. And she just had this gorgeous cheekbone structure and just piercing. She just fell right into it. And she'd never really modeled before. But it was just a great afternoon of just hanging out. And cut to like a year later, she opened up a little food truck. And so we got her to set up right outside the studio, the building that the studio is in. So she was all excited about that because she got in the parking lot and people would come out and buy stuff to eat as they were leaving.
That's great.
So that was it. I just really like that shot. Just a real simple, direct. I have one of these. I make those like engineer prints at like Kinko's.
Yeah.
They're like 20 by 30 or something like that for like $11. So I have one of these of her in black and white giant print hanging in our stairwell coming up to our second floor. So when people come in, they just see this really big black and white image.
Those portraits, by the way, those prints at Kinko's, they're so cheap, it's amazing, but they're really pretty darn good.
Yeah. I mean, if you stand back in a normal viewing distance, they're gorgeous, and they're great for like promotional images and stuff.
Yeah. Sam's Club has the same thing. They have 24 by 30s. I think they're $20.
Yeah.
In color.
They're awesome. They're awesome.
Great.
Oh, those are in color. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat job.
So that's her. And then the second shot, boom. I had never been to the Isle of Shoals before. And this was a couple of years ago. A camera group brought me out to teach a workshop at the Isle of Shoals. And it's just this little tiny island with these like brick stone like, what do you call it? Thatched roof cottages and stuff like that. And there's a little church. So I was out there for 3 days and we did a little workshop. And this was a musician that happened to be on the island at the same time that we were. So I got a hold of him the first night and I was just like, dude, if you want to model for me for the next 2 days, you know, I'll give you some images that you can use for promo and stuff.
Yeah.
So this is just a really simple setup that we did during the workshop. It's just a light and a softbox off to camera left. And he totally fit the whole thing with the way his hat was kind of cocked to the side. He's he photographed really well. So this was just a really nice, simple shot. I thought looked kind of good. And we framed him in the doorway, and then we sort of had, repeating patterns on the sides. And
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I really like you've got a frame inside you got a frame and a frame inside that frame and a frame inside that frame, and then you framed his head with that frame. It's really, really well done portrait.
Oh, it's like Inception. It's all kinds of stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
And then the last one I have it's funny, we were talking about Karma's hair. This is a girl that goes to the college that I went to, and she came by. The first time I saw her hair was all like tightly tied back, and I was just like, how big can you make your hair? And she was just like, I could come to the studio sometime and I could show you. So she came in just to show me like her hair as she was driving by. So I was just like, no, you have to go stand right over here right now. And I have to do, so we did a little impromptu shoot. And I got a bunch of stuff where she was aiming towards the light, but I had her turn around. And I just thought this made a really beautiful sort of silhouette. And it's a little bit of a profile with her, but you still get this gorgeous color of her hair. It's almost like a black and white that I painted, but it's all in color.
You have enough detail in her face and then you've got this little light area of your background. It's dark and it comes light, and pulling her face off the background. I think not only is it a beautiful portrait, but it's also a technically excellent photograph.
Thank you. Yes, that's my crappy Annie Leibovitz background there. I got obsessed with those Annie Leibovitz, the Oliphant painted backgrounds. Yeah. I was just like, I can't afford $1,500 for a backdrop. So I found this guy on like Etsy, and he basically photographs a painted backdrop and then he prints it on this like jersey material. So it's like you can fold it up, and it was like $35. And I'm just like, I'm gonna do it just so that I can get over this whole like I want to photograph like Annie Leibovitz. So that had just come in when she came that day, and I was just like, oh, this is like, it's all working out. Like I'm gonna get my Annie Leibovitz shot with you, and it's like, so. But I'm over that now. Like I've got it. I can use it when I want to use it. But now I'm not like so obsessed.
Back in 2003, $2,000. I'd be going back and forth to New York. Had a little office there next to a studio that I would occasionally rent, and I was right across the hall from Sarah Oliphant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, her backdrops are gorgeous.
It's just a ratty building. You know, all the doors were like, you go inside the building, there's no windows or anything. It's just hallways and stairs. You know, it's a third floor. It's just a little door that says Sarah Oliphant on it. But one time the door was open. I never really met her, but the door was open. I looked in, it was like, oh my God, it was so beautiful. Shiny hardwood floors. And she had, she had the whole corner, 1/4 of the floor was devoted to her stuff and all her rentals. But I'd see guys coming up to get because she used to rent that stuff. I think she still does.
Yep.
It was all rentals. The guys would be coming up, there'd be like 20 deliveries or pickups a day.
Yeah. I follow her on Instagram, and she's always taking pictures of like, she shows you all the canvases on the floor, and she'll take pictures as she's painting them and everything. Yeah. And she's got these giant fans. It's great. But her backdrops are gorgeous. But I can't afford one of those. So I found a $35 knockoff on Etsy. So I was like, all right, that's good enough. It looks good. It's going to be out of focus anyways. Like who's going to know the difference?
Who's going to know?
Right. So that's my big.
Could you type her name in the chat, please?
Yes. I will. Where is that?
Well, I thought I'd put this photograph, this little set of photographs in here.
What year?
Am I sharing the correct one? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, you are done.
She's actually looking out the window and being lit by a full moon and the street lights. This was done in my Chicago studio. So the street lights are outside and a full moon, and that's the full moon is coming in on her there. And we had just spent like 6 hours at some disco. Myself, my assistant, and like 5 models, and the makeup artist, and the client. We spent like hours at a disco, and she came back to the studio. It's like, I want to say 4 in the morning, 3:30, 4 in the morning, and just a great model. I said, you want to shoot? She goes, yeah. So we got the cameras out, started shooting at 4 in the morning, and I just love the window light. This picture is about 38 years old.
It's awesome.
This picture.
Look at all the grain too. It's just.
This was the probably the first month that Kodak came out with the ISO 3200.
Look at that.
My favorite. That was my favorite.
Gorgeous.
Oh God.
Why, but it reminds me Kate Bush.
I'm sorry?
Not sure why, but it reminds me Kate Bush.
Yeah.
She
Get something.
You ever heard of what was it? Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young?
Yeah.
This is Nash's wife.
Oh.
And then this picture, and I love that 3200. And by the way, I didn't shoot it at 3200. I pushed it to stop.
Yeah, it's like big, giant chunks of rock salt. I love it.
What's really nice about the film is all the other strips that you don't use, you can actually sand chrome with it. It's really nice. Then we have the shot of Pat. This was shot on E6 film. This was shot, you can see the light in her eyes. right there. This was shot at Papago Park, and the sun has just got to the horizon, but not cleared the horizon. So she's actually being lit by the warm, almost sun coming up, because here in the Southwest, I mean, it was already like 90 degrees. The moment the sun comes up, it jumps up real fast. This shot is 37 years old. And it's still how I shoot. She went on to become a broadcaster. She was a weather girl in Denver for like 20 years, one of the real popular weather personalities. Just a wonderful young lady. And I'm sorry Virginia left, because this is Virginia's styling. I was shooting Ivy at the studio. This is digital. This is just a couple of years old. And Virginia brought these weird little deer horns. And I said, oh, I gotta have them. So I did a combination of a very, very shallow depth of field. And then I actually added softer depth of field in Photoshop. I kept making concentric circles of out of focus and let them fall on each other. I wanted it to look like large format. There's a softbox on behind me. Then I'm standing in front of the softbox, and then I have big black cards on both sides, right out of the frame here, to darken her cheeks. I didn't want the softbox to lighten her. I wanted to create that little line there, and I ended up being one of my favorite shots I've ever done of portrait. This is the one that makes me want to do portraits again. So
yeah,
hell yeah, that's a cool shot, Don.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having us.
We will do it next week. We'll come up with another something to talk about. So great to have people from all over the world here. I think that's just really cool. Really cool. Anybody want to share anything before we go?
I will drop a link to that woman after he posts it on Facebook. I'll drop the link in the comments.
That's because it'll disappear here.
Yeah.
So I have you'll appreciate this, Don, and I probably need to call you about it anyhow. I'll be doing a shoot for my work next week or the week after, trying to wrangle a model and a makeup artist, and I got the studio already, so that'll be full on digital, for branding and web and stuff.
Yeah.
So
good.
Might need to get a hold of you and discuss that a little bit.
No problem. Give me a call. Everybody, have a great rest of your day.
Have a good weekend.
For coming out. I hope you enjoyed
Have a nice
it.
weekend, guys.
It was fun.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Be safe.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.